I'm here with Janet Varney for Stand Against Evil. This show, which is great, I watched the entire run and I absolutely love it. You have a big comedy background.
I do.
Do you get the opportunity to play with that and bring your experience and do improvisations and stuff on set?
I do. Robbie, your voice is so deep and milky. It's like I'm being soothed into hypnosis. It's wonderful.
If you'd like me to record something, I don't, but I'm trying to get into it.
Yeah, well, you definitely will.
Thank you.
You'll do fine. It's great. It's a great voice.
Thank you.
I've lost all my entire train of thought. No, I do get to improvise. It's great. Dana writes such brilliant scripts.
Yeah.
He's so funny. Of course, he was a writer on The Simpsons and is a brilliant stand-up comedian, and so his instincts are all just spot on. But the cool thing about him is that he wants to be surrounded by people that he respects, whose work he respects, and so he'll write these scripts, and then I think for someone like Johnny and me, we know that we will get something great because of what he already wrote, and so we feel when he says like, okay, let's play. Do you have a better idea? Do you have a different line? Do you want to try something? I feel like that support is there. When you are working on something where that foundation doesn't exist,
right,
you don't necessarily feel that same inspiration,
sure,
and I think there's a sense of pressure, like I guess I have to make this good.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of the perfect environment for that kind of comedy, which I do love, and that's one of the things that I love doing about the show.
Yeah, you have a pretty small cast too, as far as most shows go. Does that kind of familiarity allow you to take more risks?
I think so. I mean, I think it's certainly a really, really supportive group of people, and we all crack each other up, and I think it is. I think you do feed off each other. That's one of the things I love about improv and why I never wanted to do stand-up and never have, is that I don't want to be the only person in a room or on a stage doing something. I love the energy of collaboration. So yeah, I do think so. I think that it's when you have that small group of people who really love each other, you can, maybe stretch your wings a little bit more.
Yeah. You mentioned voiceover too, and you have a lot of experience in that realm as well. How is it working in voiceover compared to being on screen? Are those different ways to express yourself, or what do you get out of each one?
Yeah, they are so very different. I totally understand why some people just want to do voiceover, and I understand why some people just want to do on camera, because it is like flexing different muscles.
Sure.
When you're doing voiceover, there's no way past the fact that you are standing in front of a microphone in a dark padded room looking at the script. And so even if you're reading with other people, which, for example, with The Legend of Korra, that Nickelodeon was so brilliant about having as many people in the room acting together as they could, sometimes that still means that, John Michael Higgins would be back behind me, and, PJ Byrne would be on one side and David's on the other. So you're not turning to the person and acting. You're still right here, making sure that you're, the right level from the microphone, all that kind of stuff. So they're just really, really different. But they're both so much fun. And, you get to do stuff in voiceover you would never get to do on camera. You get to be characters and creatures and all the, have powers and all that kind of stuff that, unless you're one of the very lucky people who gets to be part of the X-Men, you may not get the opportunity to do unless it's a cartoon.
Sure. And you brought up Legend of Korra too, and I'm so glad you did. I have some fans who are diehard Korra fans and diehard Janet Varney fans as well. And they're so jealous that I'm standing here with you right now.
Guys,
I know.
Where are you?
Do you have loyal fans like that who come up to you and ask you to do the voice, and just you watch them change in front of you?
I do, but my voice is not that different from Korra's voice, so I think it's it maybe has slightly less range in that I squeal more, and Korra's more of a badass. But it's funny because when I'm doing panels and stuff, and people say will you say something like Korra? Initially I'm I've kind of been sounding like Korra the entire time. But I think it's because it's that other world, when you say something that she would say in that world, something probably clicks in for me too, where whatever it is that my voice does when it's Korra is able to kind of do its thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's such an honor. It's just crazy. We're so lucky to get to do what we do. It's outrageous. It's never gotten old, and I never take it for granted. I'm always and especially with something like this show or Legend of Korra or this other show I'm on, You're the Worst, to believe so strongly in the material, that's another huge gift. Because, we've all done, with anybody who has any career they love, you do stuff for a paycheck, or you do stuff because you're trying to build your resume, and maybe it's not the thing you connect with the most, and then to get a little older and a little more experienced and feel like you have the honor of doing things that you'll always want to come talk about because you're so proud of them and you're so delighted to be a part of them, like Korra. I'll never stop talking about Legend of Korra because it's brilliant, and I'm just lucky to have been a part of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to season 2 of Stand
Rob.
Against Evil.
I look forward to your voiceover career.
Thank
I can't
you.
wait to hear you and stuff.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thanks, guys.